Welcome to Miss Tabalt's Guide to the MCAS Writing Prompt. So let's start with what is not a MCAS Writing Prompt. It is not a CEA. The first day that you take the MCAS, you are not taking a CEA. It is not a summary of the book. That means you're not telling me everything that happened from the beginning, middle, to the end. It is not about your life, ever. You're not telling me why this book was important to you or why that character had courage and then told you what to do and you wish you made the same decisions. That's not what the book's about. And finally, it's not about a famous person unless you read a book and you can prove the title and the author. So you're not writing about Rosa Parks or Martin Luther King unless you have the book title and the author. And you talk about what happened in the book, not just the person's life. So what is an MCAS writing prompt? It is an essay, at least 5 paragraphs, about a character in a book that you have read. Usually one character. Unless it says more than one character, you're only writing about one. You're not writing about Romeo, Juliet, Lady Capulet, Lord Capulet, and Paris. You're writing about just one character unless it tells you to write about more than one. It is long, 2, 3, 4 pages long. It answers the question that the test is asking you. It's not answering a different question. It's not a question about courage or a villain. Those are old questions. It's a whole new question that we'll get next week on March 22nd. It has a thesis, meaning it answers the question, has many examples from the book, and a conclusion that explains why the character or the idea is important to the entire book. So let's review some of your mistakes before we start next week, March 22nd, on your first day of the MCAS. First, you need to write in paragraph format for your final draft. When you write your essay, you write in paragraph format. See how this person indented? They started a little space before they start a paragraph. Then they write paragraphs. They use periods to end their sentences. And when they're finished, they put the period, and then they'll start all over again with a new paragraph. They didn't tell me it was the hook or the intro or body paragraph number 1. On that final draft in your essay, you do not have to do that. Number 2, you have to answer the question directly. This is the question that all of the 11th graders saw last year. Often in works of literature, a character learns an important lesson. From a work of literature you have read in or out of school, select a character who learns a lesson about one of the ideas listed in the box below: compassion, forgiveness, perseverance, truth. In a well-developed composition, identify the character, describe how he or she learns the lesson, and explain how the lesson is important to the work as a whole. So you need to understand the question. A lot of the students last year took a lot of time making sure they understood what this meant. They didn't know what the word compassion, forgiveness, perseverance, so they looked it up. That's what you need to do. Now you see a character who learns a lesson. You need to make sure you use these words in your thesis. Here's an example thesis. A character who learns a lesson about truth is Elie Wiesel from the memoir Night. See how I took these words here, character who learns a lesson about, and then I chose one of the options there. This isn't the most interesting or the most exciting essay, but it's going to answer the question and get you a lot more than 0 points. You do not just tell me everything that happened in the book. Do not tell me what happened in Romeo and Juliet or Night or Rosa Parks. It is not a summary. And it is not cheating to copy ideas from your outline. I didn't have you practice basketball and then go into a professional hockey game. If you had an outline, use all of those words you put in the outline and then add a little bit more to your final essay. And if you're looking to score more points, use a different hook besides imagine. Everybody's using that one. That's boring. You're more advanced than that if you're trying to get advanced. Use as many advanced vocabulary words as you can remember. Use all the advanced transitions you have learned. Make sure your conclusion answers why that character or that idea is important to the entire book. And use specific names and examples in your body paragraphs. Don't just say Romeo goes to Juliet's house. Say Romeo goes to the balcony in the Capulet mansion in Verona. Show us that you really understood the book and that you can use very specific examples. Good luck. Make sure you practice this again and again and watch this video if you did not do well during the first draft composition.